After the tragic death of his wife, millionaire Daniel Scott was left alone with two children, 8-year-old Lucas and 5-year-old Ella. The mansion was filled with silence. Toys gathered dust, the silver dining set gleamed unused, and dinner plates remained untouched. The children flatly refused to eat, and none of the professional chefs Daniel hired could convince them to even try a dish. Desperate for a solution, Daniel turned to a nanny agency. That's how Emily Burks arrived, a young woman with glowing references from Britain and a light accent that gave her speech a pleasant aftertaste. The first thing Emily did was inspect the kitchen and the garden. The next morning, she brought the children to the backyard, where she planted a few strawberry bushes, explaining how they would grow. Then she brought out a small camping stove, a bowl, and a whisk. With just a few simple ingredients, flour, eggs, and milk, she began making mini pancakes right there in the fresh air. Lucas and Ella watched as the batter turned into golden little circles, the scent of vanilla filling the crisp morning breeze. When the first pancake browned, she handed the children wooden sticks and tiny brushes dipped in melted chocolate, inviting them to paint faces, eyes and smiles, on the pancakes themselves. Chocolate-smeared fingers and the unexpected sense of control over their food suddenly shattered their resistance. Within minutes, both children were laughing and eagerly eating what they had created with their own hands. From his office window, Daniel watched a scene he hadn't seen since the day of his wife's funeral. The children were smiling, eating, and arguing over whose pancake face looked funnier. He was struck by Emily's simple yet brilliant idea, to turn a meal into a game, one where the children became the creators of their own breakfast. He realized he had finally found someone who could speak to Lucas and Ella in the unique language of care they understood. From that morning on, a new tradition was born in the mansion. Every Saturday, the family would go out into the garden to cook over an open flame. And as the strawberry bushes slowly took root, so did Emily in their lives. Months filled with planting, culinary experiments, and countless library outings began to dissolve the old sense of estrangement. The children no longer flinched at the mention of their mother. Instead, they began to share their first school achievements by the fireplace, brew hot cocoa, and show Emily their drawings. The relationship between Daniel and the nanny also evolved, from brief notes in a notebook to long evening conversations in the conservatory. At the end of spring, Daniel arranged a family picnic beneath blooming apple trees, where he asked Emily to become part of their family, forever. 6 months later, the mansion hosted a small, intimate wedding. Now, with the scent of fresh pastries in the air and birds chirping in the yard each morning, Lucas and Ella call Emily Mom. Now, with the scent of fresh pastries in the air and birds chirping in the yard each morning, Lucas and Ella call Emily Mom without hesitation. On the bookshelf stands a framed photo, 2 smiling children, Daniel hugging Emily tightly, and bunches of ripe strawberries in the background, a quiet symbol of how one simple garden bed changed the lives of an entire family. What an incredible story! Dear friends, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There's much more to come.